Good morning, good morning, good morning, and um, hope everybody's year is starting off great. It is January 8th. I'm running a little behind on starting this challenge, as if me being on time has ever really, truly been a thing for any long period of time. Um, but I am doing two different challenges this year, one being the full deck challenge, which is in this video, and I'm also doing an altered index card challenge. Because I have a ton of both. I have a ton of cards and I have a ton of index cards. So figured why not? I've watched Shinuki Art do her full deck challenge this is her third year doing it. I love her work. She is a mixed media artist and she is fantastic at what she does, and I'm envious of all her supplies and tools that she has to play with. I've learned quite a few techniques from her. Not many that I've gotten to utilize because again, I don't have modeling paste and all the fun little spatulas that go with that. I only have inks right now, ink pads. I don't have liquid inks, and that's coming soon. I've made a deal with somebody on Marketplace. They've had these products for sale, and it's a whole lot. I mean, it's paper and stamps, and it's a bunch of stuff that I don't need, but she has spray inks, refill inks, distress crayons and gelatos, and that's really what I want from her, but she's not willing to separate. And I've been talking with her for several weeks, and then she got sick, and then she had an emergency dental thing that she had to deal with, and so she's actually lowered her price significantly because I've been so patient with her. But I'm going to be picking that up on Friday on my way to go see the kids in Walla. But anyway, that gives me some more play, which I'm looking forward to because I love the look of the gelatos and distress crayons. Pam at the Paper Outpost uses them all the time, and I'm like, ooh, but I can't justify buying it all new because what if I don't like it? What if I just like to look at it? So this was a good deal. So I worked that out. But for now, we're going to work with the products that I have. So Shinuki's full deck challenge is, as it implies, a deck of cards. I have prepped these cards. You can see they're all, you hear the paper rustling. I've sanded the surface on all of them and applied a thin tissue paper to them. I'm not going to worry about cutting them. I started to kind of like trim all these down. Why do I keep going off camera? Let's try that. I keep finding myself like way back here. But anyway, I covered the entire 50 and see I started to trim them down, and I'm like, you know what? That only takes a split second in the moment. So I'll just do it as I go. The cards fit perfectly in this. This is a lid to a piano roll. I did accidentally split it last night, so I got to put some tape on it, which is really kind of crazy because the box itself is pretty fragile. Anyway, so I will have so it's hashtag full deck challenge, all one word. It's going to be in my title, and I will have the link to Shinuki's channel in the description box below. So week 1, the prompt. So the overall theme this year is mini collage. I'm like, yay, I can do this. I can do this. And the prompt was red, just red. So I gathered what little bit of red stuff I have, which ironically, most of this was already on my desk. This was here. This was here. This was here. And this was already here. All just sitting on my desk. Some of it's from the journal I just got done making. And then I pulled out just a single strand of red embroidery floss. So that's in there. So there, that fulfills the prompt. Now, generally speaking, there's no rules in crafting. It's do what you want to do. Shanuki does have 3, she didn't want to call them rules, guidelines. One of which is the suit must be showing. Now, in her 2 previous years, her cards were done up so beautifully and completely that when she was done, you couldn't even tell it was a plain card as her base. But this year, the suit must be showing and the number. That was one guideline. Another was that there's a carryover item. So something that you use on week 1 carried over into week 2. Something you use in week 2 carry over to week 3. Something from week 3 carry over into week 4. Now, obviously, I mean, I've kind of already done that. Met that by covering all of these with the same paper. They automatically covers to the next one. But I'm going to try to add an extra element that fulfills that. So from something from this week carrying on to next week. And the third guideline she gave was to pick something in your stash that you had 52 of and use that as a common theme throughout. So to use in each week for the next 52 weeks. This is just one box that I have of the stamps that I got off of Marketplace. Now there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's stamps, but what's in this box is mostly, so, you get into these little folders and, there's real stamps in here. Like, I mean, they're all real stamps, but there's stamps like this in all of these little envelopes. But what's also in here is stuff like this. There we go. Stuff like this. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use these for this challenge because there's a lot of them. So I'm just going to pull out a mixture so that way I have ones to pick from. Like this one's got blue ink, this one's red ink, but it's on a blue envelope. This is red ink, purple ink. So these are all postage stamps from the 40s and 50s. Like this one's 1947. There's no date on that one. That one's 47, 47, 46. So I'm just going to grab a random stack. I think that's probably more than 50. Maybe not. So I'm going to grab an extra stack. And I'm going to add those to my project box, which again is this piano roll. This, I'm going to go be right back. I'm going to go put it back on the shelf where it belongs. 2025, I'm trying to break the habit of, okay, I'm done with this product. Whoop, just drop it on the floor next to me in a pile. And eventually, quote unquote, eventually put the pile away. And the pile ends up just getting moved to make room for more piles. So I'm trying to break that habit because my room will stay cleaner if I put things away when I'm done with them. Isn't that what we've been teaching our children for all these years? Okay. So I'm going to randomly draw a card out of here each week. I'm not going to like go in order. I scrambled them up so they're not going to be in like card order anyway. So today is going to be the 4 of diamonds is what I'm going to be working with. Good old Mr. Sanding Block is the easiest way I've found to do this. And you just kind of, whoops, kind of drop your card. Come on. You just kind of like move it toward the back. Run the sanding block over around the edge. It's the easiest way that I have found, especially on cards, to be able to get this nice, clean corner. Okay. Now, while we're doing this, I'll give you a little bit of a life update on me. So I have had my MRI, and while not only did it provide some information about what's going on in my hip region, it identified some other problems in that area that I was not previously aware of. So not too happy about that. I do have a doctor's appointment on the 25th to review my MRI results with my doctor and figure out where we go from here. But yeah. I'm currently in the process of trying to shock my system back into reality. I've talked before about how, my digestive system is like really dysfunctional, shall we say. So I'm kind of taking drastic measures, and I started the carnivore diet on the 1st of the year. I only committed to do it for the month of January because I've done keto before, and I know that that is not something I can maintain long term. I've tried. Didn't work. I kind of want the ones with the date on them. That's going to be too big. Let me find a small one. Come down to the bottom. But anyway, it's going fairly well. I'm not struggling too much. The first couple days were kind of gnarly because, on this, you are not allowed to have, you focus on plant-based, animal-based products only. So it's all meat all the time. No fruits, no vegetables, no breads, no rice, nothing. Just meat product. So been working my way through that. I said the first couple days were rough because that shot up. Can't have my coffee. I can't drink Pepsi. And those were my primary liquids. So I've had to make that switch, which I realized pretty quickly that without those, yeah. Anyway, I've been drinking my water. I'm shooting for 2 of these a day. Yesterday, I didn't meet my goal. In fact, this bottle's only halfway done, and it's from yesterday. I didn't even drink half of one bottle yesterday. But you know, it's a work. I am a work in progress. But the upside to all of this is that by day 5, just trimming this down a little bit, by day 5 of doing the carnivore diet, for the first time in like forever, I woke up in the morning and wasn't immediately starving. Now, the way I usually keep myself from eating as soon as I wake up is I start drinking sugary coffee, because as long as I have sugar in my system, my body doesn't actually get hungry. But without that, it was like, oh my God, I'm starving. But I woke up one morning and I'm like, dang, I feel fantastic right now. And so I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do. And I'm like, let's see how long I can fast today. Well, 21 hours I was able to fast that day. And I'm like, I have not been able to fast in years. I haven't been able to fast since I got my gallbladder out. And that always irked me because I don't know if anybody has watched that video a long time ago. Prior to that, I was on a 42-6 fasting schedule. So I'd fast for 42 hours and then feed for 6. I don't want to hear any, people are going to comment on that, I am sure. But trust me, I knew what I was doing, and I knew that what I was doing was not unhealthy. I felt phenomenal. Never felt better in my life, to be honest. And then, yeah, it was actually, I had fasted for 42 hours, and when I went to feed that day, we were at a car show, and I did hamburgers and French fries from one of the vendors. And that night I had a gallbladder attack, and that next morning I was having emergency surgery. Going from a fast to eating greasy garlic French fries is what did me. And that wasn't the fasting, it was the feeding that, but I just realized I cut that the wrong way. That's okay. That's okay. So I'm now on day 3. Yesterday I fasted for 20. Well, the first day was 22 and a half hours, or 21 and a half hours. Yesterday was 25 and a half. And right now I'm on like 17 hours or so. And it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Ooh, you know what? I need to go get I haven't taken my meds yet today. I need to go get those. I woke up a little late this morning. Want that under? Just a second. Time to fill my med box. But yeah, I was really tired. I almost went to bed at like 6 o'clock last night, but I knew if I did that, I would be majorly regretting it. That, and I'd have to be up at 8 o'clock to take my meds. And if I went to sleep when I felt like I needed to, I wouldn't have woke up to take my meds. So, yeah. Needless to say, I stayed awake long enough that it then reversed on me, and then I couldn't get to sleep. And then when I did finally go to bed, I couldn't sleep because my leg was hurting. My leg and my foot, my left foot was just throbbing. And so I got back up and took some Tylenol, took another muscle relaxer, and I did a hot foot bath and put the heat pack on my back, try to get everything to settle down. I was still hurting a little bit by the time I went to bed, but it wasn't as bad. So, but yeah, it was kind of a rough night for me last night. I'm glad to be working with the silicone glue after messing with all that sticky super glue. I'll leave that up for a minute. Because yeah. The silicone glue just rubs off. I will be doing another update on this guy. I've got new glue that I'm waiting on. One shipping app says it's supposed to be due tomorrow, and the other shipping, USPS, Informed Delivery, says it has no idea when it's getting here. But when I go directly to the DHL website, it lists tomorrow as my delivery, which I hope, because I want to get back. I want to work on that guy some more. Oh, I meant to put the string under that. Can I get it up still? Yeah. It's kind of like that because it kind of forces the string to go in the opposite directions and stuff. And this piece I'm going to put here. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride. It's been a lot of change rapidly. Like I said, I had to switch from drinking large, copious amounts of caffeine every day to like virtually none. I do drink a cup of tea, usually first thing in the morning. But I'm not doing tea this morning because I didn't finish my water yesterday. So I'm trying to, and I feel a little dry. So I'm going to try to get some water down before I do any tea today. Oh, this is why I wanted this one up. Not glued all the way down yet. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. Life keeps throwing me curveballs, and I keep trying to shoo them away. But I will say, it does feel great to be back to fasting because I have missed that tremendously. Only time in my life that I've ever felt really strong and healthy was when I was fasting before. So I'm glad to be able to, get back to at least some level of that. Will I get back to the 42.6? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try. The last time I was fasting too, I also discovered that with my biology, I didn't lose weight unless I fasted for at least 20 hours. Anything less than that, and I just sat at a stalemate. So, yeah, if I'm going to do this, I'm definitely going to be shooting for at least more than 20 each day. Okay. Some cards I might leave more white space. I don't know. It's mini, so you only have so much room. But yeah, I'm just going to throw those scraps away. Yeah, I need to put my ribbons away from now that I'm done with that journal. Okay. So I'm going to drop this in the box. I might use that again. We'll see. Maybe that may be my element that carries over into next week. But there it is. There is week 1 of the 52-week challenge. Suit showing, carry through item, which is going to be my postage. Color red is the prompt, and the overall theme is a mini collage. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.